Okay. Happy Labor Day. um, I'm going to try to make this one a short one. You can see that I've done a little work here. This is a Distelfink. It's something that you see in the United States on Pennsylvania Dutch barns. You see it as a decoration. It's a European finch, goldfinch, I believe. And when I say Pennsylvania Dutch, for those of you who are not, of my patrons who are not in the United States, Pennsylvania Dutch, they aren't Dutch, they're German. Again, the people confused Dutch and Deutsch. So these were German immigrants, so that's why it's a Distelfink, spelled Distelfink. So I did this yesterday, and I did it on pause up Pet Month. Some painted paper. I don't think the other piece I have around here someplace. Oh, here's some of it. I decided I wanted some undertones of a very pale blue, so I used some paper that I'd already created with a pale blue, and then used a very watered down acrylic white to get a nice smooth finish so I could draw on it. So I used the acrylic paint pens you guys helped me buy to do this yesterday. It's a fairly faithful adaptation. This should be a little bit bigger and over here, and I went ahead and made this tulip match that one because I had to, and I made some changes with the feet, but everything else is pretty accurate. Now, why did I make this? Well, I had talked in the video yesterday about this area that I didn't like. It was too big. So where this is going to go, here's the other, this is going to be mounted here, and this portion, if I can lay this down, will continue on the bottom. Now parts of this will be covered up, which is fine, but I wanted to show you that I'd done that one. There's some others that I would like to do. I painted enough paper that I can also work on some others. So yeah, so that's going on there. You can also see on this one I put another coat of this color. I kind of liked how these two reacted with one another. With this, it makes this way more green and really pumps up the brightness of these warmer colors, this cool background. So I then went ahead and pulled a pale blue, which now I like, kind of looks more lavender. And I'm going to continue with this, and this will need another coat in here. And I did a second coat on the outside, which I don't know that I'll really have to do a second one or a third one. I can come in with some other colors here. So that was done yesterday. Also, I have the ladders. So, and I said I wanted to make them more like chocolate, and I was kind of shooting for, if you ever had a Pocky stick, that's kind of what I was shooting for, and I think these look pretty good. There is a problem with, I think, this one, in that, yeah, here it is. The foot, you can see how this is, they aren't completely aligned. Somehow I did something wrong here. So I may need to either fix that or just make another one. It doesn't take that long. And you can also see that I got some painting done here and here. And I'm experimenting more. You can see that there's a color difference between this and this. I'm doing, I don't want to say that they're in glazes, because oil paint, you can work in layers, very sheer layers that will allow the color to kind of mix here. But it's something akin to that, and you can tell that there's a difference. I think in here you can see the red that I really painted everything. That's one of the reasons I painted it in there. I wanted to see what some of the differences were going to be. And I put a black roof on, and then I did add a bit of white paint around the edges. And then I'm going to be adding in some more details here today. And on this little Keystone house. Get the light right. That's better. You can see I'm doing the same technique because you can kind of see some places where it's a little darker, it's a little bit more red, it's kind of popping through. I fixed this little area. I still need to sand it. There's a little bump there I want to get rid of. And then I did this in gray, and I made sure it was gray all the way down so we're not having anything weird. I did an undercoat of a tan because I kind of wanted it to pop through a little bit. So I need to come through and put some more white on here because this building is going to remain white. And then do a little sanding here, and then I can start on the other decorations and things that are going to go on the house. So that's where I am right now. I really do need to give this, I didn't touch this at all. I wanted it to be absolutely completely bone dry before I add any more yellow paint to it. That's kind of one of the, I don't want to say challenge. Well, it's more of a challenge. I mean, this is wood. I painted this, and it's dry. I'm gonna leave it alone for another 24 hours before I add any kind of sealant to it because I want to make sure it's completely dry. And when you're working with recycled papers and cardboards, you want to, because I've talked about how when you put the paint on it, it kind of the fibers swell a little bit. I want to make sure this is completely dry before I do anything else here. And in starting the color, this is starting to come together into what colors I want to use inside of here. So yeah, that's where I am right now. I got a lot of stuff on my plate today and tomorrow. So hopefully everything will go to plan, I hope. And if you haven't checked it out, I have 10 pages of portfolio work on my website if you haven't checked that out yet. And you just hit portfolio and you can go through each page and it just clicks you to the next page. So I've kind of divided up my work into some different categories. And I have more work that I have pictures of and things that I need to shoot and put up there, but I'm kind of leaving that alone for right now and working on some other stuff. So thank you all for being my patrons, and I will see you in the next video.